This week in Women in Sports, hockey is a game of speed, agility, and hand-eye coordination. And that is what makes this blind Minnesota player so special. Then, the Women's PGA Championship in Minnesota is right around the corner. We will introduce you to the major talent headed to a course near you. And later, she has landed some huge sporting events for Minnesota. See how Debbie Estes got her start and why it's a career that almost didn't happen.
WCCO's Women in Sports, sponsored by Franson Bank and Trust.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Amelia Santaniello. Here at WCCO, we are celebrating the highlights of female athletes in this digital segment called Women in Sports. We'll share news stories with you every week right here as we do our part to give these athletes the recognition they deserve. We've shown you a lot of stories about people adapting to their circumstances, but this is one you won't soon forget. Two children just wanted to play on a hockey team like their older brother. But there was an issue. Both were born blind. So mom and dad stepped in and created a team, and their daughter is becoming a legend known as the goalie monster.
This is Abby Jones. She is a goalie. This is her mother, watching and very proud.
The fact that she gets a team to play with and that are just like her, and it's inspiring for her. She inspires others.
Wilbur.
That's right, inspire others. Now you will hear the backstory. This is Abby Jones at home with her family.
Keep going, sweetie.
Reading Braille.
Who really felt.
She and her brother Ethan were both born blind. Their older brother was not. He ascended to a high school hockey career, but Dad wanted more for his other children.
We had our second kid who was born blind. And it came to a point where he's like, when do I get to play hockey? I had to kind of tell him you don't get to. And that wasn't a fun conversation. And of course we had our daughter who was also born, and I'm like, I'm not telling her, no, you can't play either.
So he researched it and got in touch with the right people and became the head coach and president of Minnesota Blind Hockey. The roster is made up of players ages 8 to 60, including Evie and brother Ethan. Most important, they are on a team.
I love it. The movement is great. The release of energy, the ability to work with a team. It's taught me a lot about how to, work with people.
That's what Dad really wanted. Forget the sport, remember the reason.
I'm a believer in you have to participate in some type of team, right? As a kid growing up, I don't care if it's the robotics team, the chess team, a hockey team, just get into that team stuff.
In the process, their daughter has become a bit of a legend, craving the same rush all athletes gravitate to on game night.
I wanted to be cheered on, and I like the movement and, well, just being with a team.
Because of the vision impaired, the puck is bigger and makes a rattling noise. The net is a foot smaller. They call her the goalie monster because she has a call to communicate with her teammates on the ice, so they know where she is even if they can't see her. They call it the roar. Let's hear the goalie monster roar.
Are you ready, fans?
Typical goalie, right? One of the most laid back things, but in the laid back, doesn't get upset about things going on.
So the game starts.
She roars. That's why she has the goalie monster name. Her roar helps you figure out where you are on the ice.
And even though she occasionally gives one up, what she does not do is live in self-pity. You don't seem like you feel sorry for yourself.
Oh, I never feel sorry for myself.
What's the key to that attitude?
Always have the positive attitude, because feeling sorry for yourself gets you nowhere.
Parents get to watch their kids play hockey. Exactly what their kids wanted. And Mom and Dad know that means more than playing hockey.
We never thought our kids were going to play hockey. I mean,
it's got to make a mom pretty choke up once in a while.
Yeah. But now we know they can do anything.
That's right, unleashing the opportunity to be anything and do it with a roar. So teach me how to do the roar.
Okay, so I need to take a deep breath and go. Wow.
Not good enough?
That sounded scary.
Evie will be a senior at Blaine High School. Her teammate and middle brother Ethan just finished his freshman year at the University of Minnesota. Champions were crowned at the high school softball state tournament this past week. Forest Lake and Bloomington Jefferson played in the 4A title game. The Jaguars' Remy Rudquist is one of the best catchers in the state and shows why right there, diving and turning a double play in the second. The game went into extra innings and Jefferson broke through in the 8th. Rissa Clifford with an RBI double. Olivia Orther scores from first. The Jaguars win it 1-0. It marks their first ever state crown.
It was coming, like we were out for blood, it felt like, but it also was just like, we can't believe that it actually happened.
We only lost one game and don't feel like we ever got the respect that we deserved. You know, I think we should have been the number 1 seed coming in here. We were number 3. Well, we're number 1 now.
The 3A championship game took place between Byron and St. Francis. Haley Oslin held an RBI double down the line. She drove in 3 by the end of the game. Byron are the runners-up again as 5th seed, as St. Francis also wins their first state title. 6-1 is the final score. State track and field finals also wrapped up this past week. The girls' 100-meter dash was a hot competition this year, but it is Taylor Kurtz from Rochester Mayo pulling away in the final 50. She takes home the state title in the 100. Then in the AA girls' 300-meter hurdles, Providence Academy's Madden Greenway made a splash. She pulled away late and walked away with a new 2A state record. She's one of the best basketball players in Minnesota history, and now she's won her 3rd straight state title in this race. Emma Quant also put on quite a performance. She defended her 400-meter title and broke her own state record by a lot with a 52.77, leaving the competition in the dust. One of Minnesota's best prep girls distance runners went out on top as well. Maddie Gullickson dominated the 1600, setting a state record and posting a top 20 time in the country this year. Her 2nd state title this week. Her Wayzata Trojans won the team crown. Congratulations, ladies. Athletes work hard to get to the state tournament, but perhaps no one works harder than Montevideo senior Jessa Norby. John Lorson shares her unlikely journey from serious injury to state qualifier.
Well, I mean, I was pretty bummed because my volleyball season got cut short and then I couldn't play basketball.
No student athlete wants to begin their senior year by having intense hip surgery, but that's exactly what happened to Jessa Norby.
She had been having pain all through high school playing sports, and we were trying all kinds of different things, trying to figure out what was going on.
It turns out Jessa had hip dysplasia. In September, doctors surgically repaired her hip socket and a torn labrum, but told her recovery would likely take a year, meaning no sports for this senior standout.
You know, I remember when she first returned after her surgery, she walked into my calculus class. Well, she didn't walk in. She came in on crutches and she couldn't hardly move. And I was like, well, we're probably not going to see her this spring.
But Jessa never gave up. She rehabbed every single day. And by spring, she was able to dump the crutches for running spikes. It was a painful start to the track season, but things slowly got better.
Just where I am today, it's incredible.
Running for Montevideo in lane 3.
For the section meet, Jessa was the anchor on Montevideo's 200-meter relay team. When she came around that final curve, she was a good 10 meters behind. But then the will to win kicked in.
I thought, oh my gosh, she might do this. And then she crossed the finish line. We weren't quite sure right away because it was so close.
A last-second lean made all the difference, and it sent Jessa's relay team to state with a school record in hand.
We all just rejoiced. We were hugging, we were crying. It was amazing, to be honest.
I had tears in my eyes. I was happy, so happy for her because I know what she'd been through.
And in so many ways, this senior's race was much longer than 200 meters. For Jessa, it's not just about the thrill of making it to state with her relay team. It's also about inspiring other student athletes who are going through their own adversity.
If you can just stay strong and trust yourself and trust your process, trust your doctors, all of that, you're going to make it through and you're going to come out better than ever.
In St. Michael, John Lordson, WCCO News.
At the state track meet, Jessa's relay team did prelims, but like the coach said, it was super rewarding and highly unlikely that they got as far as they did. A thrill for them to be there against the odds. As expected, the basketball games between the Gophers and the Tommies are now on the schedule. Since St. Thomas went to Division I hoops, the conversation started. When will they play the Gophers? This season, the women will face off on December 1st. It's not great timing for St. Thomas to score an upset given the infusion of money into the Gophers and all Big Ten basketball programs, but it will sell tickets and maybe the beginning of a rivalry tradition. Imagine having these credits to your name: a Super Bowl, a Final Four, and the Olympic trials. In Women in Sports, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield introduces us to the woman helping score big events for the Twin Cities.
You don't like being in the spotlight?
No, I'm a behind-the-scenes person.
And what scenes she has been behind. The gymnastics Olympic trials, the men's Final Four, the women's Final Four, and she helped bring the Super Bowl to Minnesota, too. What was that like?
That moment they said, Minneapolis.
Will be played in Minnesota.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
You kind of go, we can do this. Yeah.
And did they ever do it? One of the pinnacles of a career that Debbie never saw coming. She majored in political science and history.
I worked on campaigns, and I was an advanced person at the White House, and I realized combining that creativeness and making it happen, it was really fun, and I was good at it.
She used that newfound talent to host events for Target for 20 years, then Best Buy for 13, and then what she calls her encore career.
Sports is that denominator that brings people together, brings energy together, brings families together and fans together. And, you know, that's really, I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to do it.
She works at Minnesota Sports and Events, and the wall tells the story.
This is also when Caitlin Clark won, and
there she is.
There she is, and all of Iowa came up to Minnesota. It was so much fun.
As proud as she is of the sports events, she's even more proud of the free events that they create around them.
Most of these events do not, not everybody can attend. There's only so many tickets, but they want to feel a part of it.
Something else she's championed: visibility for all.
Have you seen the support for women's sports evolve?
Yes. When the women's basketball teams were starting, you kind of had to fight to, say we need to sponsor both the NBA and the WNBA internally. And now it's a no-brainer.
That's progress.
That's progress.
With photojournalist Jose Pascual, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO News.
Estes's next big project will be welcoming the WWE SummerSlam to US Bank Stadium in August, and those tickets are on sale right now. And while all eyes are on the World Cup, the Aurora is in action here at home. This week they played Chicago-based Edgewater Castle FC at TCO Stadium. The team also hosted RKC Third Coast recently. It wasn't until the second half that Minnesota finally got on the board. Ai Kitagawa scored from a distance, and it was the only goal of the game. The Aurora won 1-0, improving to 6-0 this season. The PWHL is adding 4 more teams to their franchise next season: Detroit, Hamilton, Las Vegas, and San Jose. This means another big offseason of change for the league and for the Minnesota Frost. This last week, they lost one of the best forwards in the league, assist leader Britta Curl. She signed a 3-year contract with a new Detroit franchise. Minnesota could only protect 3 players, and Curl wasn't on the list. She's a former first-round pick who spent the last 2 seasons with the Frost. The word is that the league will stay at 12 teams for a while.
As a staff, we decided, last year's decisions, let's do what we need to do to win, this current season that just wrapped up. And now, yeah, you're absolutely right. We're in the building phase now, which is exciting, a little less stressful. Obviously still expecting a lot of changes over the next week or so, but this is kind of the first step of a new chapter.
Frost defenders Mae Batherson and Kendall Cooper were signed by other teams as well. The PWHL draft will take place Wednesday, June 17th. The Women's PGA Championship will come to Minnesota in just days, and Ren Clayton was at Hazeltine National for Media Day to preview the tournament.
Things are taking shape. Hazeltine National in Chaska looks a little different.
I kind of call it a chameleon. Every day we prepare the golf course to be championship ready, and then to see it come to life with the grandstands taking form. A month ago we had nothing, and now we've got 6, 8 big corporate chalets out there.
The best in the world will tee it up at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship later this month. Laura Frick is the first ever female PGA member to serve as championship director.
It's the amount of energy that I truly feel from not only myself, but the whole team around me, the Hazeltine team, the community here in the Twin Cities. Everyone truly has wrapped their arms around it.
And then there's the built-in storyline. Nelly Korda, the world #1 and most famous and popular women's player in America, just won the U.S. Open yesterday, which means when she tees it up here at Hazeltine, she'll be going for her 3rd straight major championship.
The opportunity to come back here, there's so many storylines around, she did great in 2019, I think finished 3rd.
We're super excited to have the 156 of the world's best return.
Hunting history at Hazeltine. Ren Clayton, WCCO Sports.
Thanks for watching this week's Women in Sports. I'm Amelia Santaniello, and we will be back with more great stories next week.